Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. I already know what it is. We back with another one of them things. Listen, man, we got some serious news, man. Listen, man, I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with you. I really been waiting on this whole entire situation. I really just was. What the hell? What are we waiting on? I really been disgusted with the whole situation. It's been hard to watch. So I definitely want to apologize for the people that wasn't able to get the content that they may have wanted at the time that they wanted to get it. But this is very disgusting, ladies and gentlemen. Lamelo Ball, finally, I knew this was going to happen. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, it's calm before the storm, y'all. It's Flight Sports TV. We haven't gone nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, when Lamelo Ball gets moved, I see the writing on the wall. This has just been disgusting, man. The way they have dealt Lamelo Ball, the way they treated him, this is what they wanted all along. I told the people that Charles Lee was a dirty snake. It's all going to end bad for him. I'm telling you, he believes that Lamelo Ball is the issue with this basketball team. And this is the reason why we are seeing these things take place at this very time. This is very disgusting, y'all. Lamelo Ball is open to being traded. We're going to get into it all. This is a report that is being put out. This is crazy. Where's Lamelo Ball going? The way they got annihilated by the Indiana Pacers, that was a disgusting basketball game. Did y'all see that? That game was crazy. For them to lose in that manner, they just looked deflated. Why the hell anybody showed up to even play? I really believe that they believe that Lamelo is taking the ball out of Con Knippel's hands. They got their golden goose, in Mr. Con Knippel. We just got to keep it 1,000. It is what it is, y'all. They golden goose in Con Knippel. Let's see what happens. Lamelo Ball, man, he was giving these guys the basketball. I was watching how he was playing, how he was maneuvering. He was definitely seeming like he was going into the system that they wanted. He was fine. He's giving Con Knippel the basketball. He's giving everybody's. Even at the end of the game, I don't know what happened. I'm gonna keep it. It was not the game with the Pacers. The game, I forgot the game it was. It was the game right before where. It was the end of the game where Lamelo didn't even get the last shot. It was Miles Bridges, if I'm not mistaken, took the last shot. That was just disgusting. When I was watching that game, I was like, how in the hell is Lamelo Ball not taking the last shot in the last second? How in the hell is it ending up in Ryan Kalkbrenner's hand? He's getting his shit blocked. How did this happen? How did we get to this situation? What the hell? What just happened? I'm trying to figure. I'm lost. When I seen the ball, everybody but Lamelo was taking that shot. That was against the Raptors. That was when Kalkbrenner was getting dunked on and all kind of shit. It was wild. This is crazy. Where do the Hornets go from here, y'all? Are they gonna get a haul, for Mr. Lamelo? I don't see it. I just don't see it. Because we're gonna figure out how they handle his whole trade value, because that's gonna be very interesting. But sources have came out and they are saying that LaMelo Ball is open to a trade. Like I said, for you to lose to the Pacers, they was only won one game. Now they 2-13. You know, um, this is just crazy. The Charlotte Hornets, 12th in the East, 4-11. Reports saying he has grown increasingly frustrated with the organization and is open to a trade away from the franchise. So this is what has came out. So Peterson and company, I wouldn't be surprised if they're rolling up their sleeves, to make something happen, involving LaMelo Ball. LaMelo, to me, man, he's one of the best guards in the league. He's got to get that opportunity. You look at all of these players who have departed Charlotte. You see them, maybe finding better and greener pastures. Seem like they get more hope. I want to see LaMelo in a nice structured organization. It's going to be interesting to see what team that is. But you look at the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that that's where he's going to go, but I look at Minnesota. I look at reports saying that they wanted Ja Morant. I know I'm just fantasy booking right now, but the reports did come out that they wanted Ja Morant. And it's going to be interesting to see if that's going to be a play, because I'm rooting for Minnesota. I know we're moving a little ahead, but I would love to see LaMelo in a team where, he got some dogs, a nice organization. You got Chris Finch over there. That's a much better, structure than what the hell is going on here. You will have LaMelo, Edwards, Julius. I like that combination. They might give up McDaniels and some pieces. I think they might go for that. But let's see what Charlotte gonna do. Let's see if they are gonna tamper with LaMelo's value. Let's see if this thing get nasty. Pause. Let's get into it, man. We got the legendary Pope B. Frank in the building. The Pope, man. Listen, nobody knows Melo like the Pope. Listen, man, we knew this was gonna happen eventually. I knew it. It was just a matter of time. I was just Pope. I'm just waiting for the dust to settle. I'm watching every single game. What's your thoughts on this report that just came out that LaMelo is said that he is open to being traded from the Charlotte Hornets, and he has grown increasingly frustrated with the organization?
Is that what he said? That's reports on that.
That's what the reports have said. Yes.
Oh man. Is LaMelo, is he injured or is he healthy?
LaMelo. I mean, like I said, he's playing. He seemed like he's not.
Playing?
Yeah, it seemed like he's not. He's not playing on back to backs. So that's something. That's something interesting. To see. What's going on with that. That's kind of they dealing with him with kind of wild.
So he's saying he open to being traded, but that's not nothing that the franchises actually came out and said. I'm trying to get. My bad. I'm just trying to.
No. Like I said, this is coming from reports. We're gonna get the source right here shortly. Hang on one second. But like I said, the reports have came out from Charlotte that amidst a rough 4-11 start, Hornet star guard LaMelo Ball has grown increasingly frustrated. This is coming from Bleacher Report, pardon me, with the organization, and is open to being traded. Sources tell Yahoo Sports, and this is being reported from Bleacher Report.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Hornets, like Darkman said in the chat, I'm getting rid of him.
Right.
Wasn't he just out for another month?
It wasn't a month, but it was a nice stretch. Pause. It was crazy.
It was. He wasn't out for just a few games, right? He was out.
It was wild. It was wild. And then now you got back to backs coming into play. That's more games. You feel me? Talk to me.
Niggas injury prone now. It's sad to say. I love his game. He injury prone. We've been saying this for years on your channel, man. Best ability is availability. And so if I'm the Hornets, and it's not that I got Concaniple, it's the fact that Concaniple is actually better than people knew. and
Yeah,
advertised. I don't even think
yeah,
they knew that. Maybe they did, because I was
he's
shocked
good.
they drafted him. That was a hella fly pick. I didn't think I thought a lot of people were sleeping on Khan, but it seemed like the Hornets wasn't. And yeah, he's going. I told y'all he's going to be, and he just scratching the surface. But he fuck around and win the Rookie of the Year. He keeps staying at the pace he is, or keep going up. But I think he's gonna get better as the year goes on. As you see, to me, I think I see him getting better. I know he don't have every game. It's not solid like a superstar. He's not a superstar yet, so he's still a rookie, a 19-year-old rookie. So he gonna have them certain games where he don't look. But the boy shooting 40% from three. He putting up 8 attempts a night. If I got Con Knipple, if I could trade LaMelo Ball for another superstar, which I would have to because he's a max contract player.
That's right.
Because I'm on the phone with the Spurs. Hopefully, I'm calling. If I'm the Hornets, I'm calling the Spurs and seeing if I could get whether it's Castle or Fox. You know,
That
one of
sounds
those
good.
point
You want
guards.
you want Melo with Fox?
No, I'm saying I'm trying to see if I'm the Hornets. I'm trying to trade LaMelo for Fox
Yeah,
or
that sounds
Castle.
good. That sounds good.
Right,
Yeah, you can see what they could do.
right. Because I need me another guy in here. Well, Castle, the money don't match, so that'd be tough. But if I'm the Hornets, I'm calling because I need another point guard to go with. I need somebody to go with this Con Knibble because Con is real. Con is real. And if I could get another
They
guy
going
over,
for a guard. They're going for a guard in the trade.
correct.
And
So
some picks. They probably trying. They're gonna try to see if they're gonna get a haul from somebody. It's kind of crazy to see who really need point guards out here. Um, you spoke. What's the team that you just said again?
Spurs,
The Spurs. Yes, they loaded that guard. That is interesting. I
they
could see
loaded.
something like that happen. They was one of the teams that wanted Lamelo, so I see that.
Yes, I
That
mean, it's a lot of teams can be in play, Magics, but they got to look good for the Hornets.
right.
So I think if anything, I want superstar for superstar in a sense. Uh,
I wherever he goes, I want to see some structure. Because I would hate to see
Can we
him go to
see
Brooklyn.
AD for Melo? Dallas trade?
Mm, that'd be cool, but I mean, I just feel like they're not really ready to win. In my opinion, in Dallas, I know you'll be. I tell you what, you never know. You swing for the fences because you are going there with better structure. You got Jason Kidd, NBA champion. As a player, he didn't win it as a coach, did he?
Yeah. No. As a
No, no, no,
coach.
no. Pardon me. He went to
Yeah.
he went to the finals. So clearly, let's see what happens. I mean, I would like that. Dallas is a better, much more well-oiled machine, but then what you got going there, you're gonna be playing with Kyrie. Possibly they're gonna end up trading him. So it's just really you and Cooper. I really don't like that situation because Cooper Flag is still a young player. I want to see LaMelo go to a team that's ready to compete and bona fide postseason. LaMelo has to be in the playoffs this
But that's
year.
not
You know what I
realistic.
mean? Good.
Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Well, no, I mean that's just one of the options for the team that I said there.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
I will say is, if you went to San Antonio right now, you got Wembanyama hurt. So I mean that's crazy. Who's to say they may not even make it to the postseason this year? But let's see what happens when Wemby get back. I'm looking at a team like I said. I'm gonna regurgitate myself. Part of me. I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I'm gonna give reasons why for the Timberwolves because they was interested in John Morant. It was reports that they are constantly in communication with John Morant. If anybody's seen,
You mean the Grizzlies?
yeah, Minnesota is interested
No,
in John.
Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, the Memphis. No, I want to see Lamelo with Minnesota with the Timberwolves.
Okay, so why you say
Yeah,
John Morant?
no, I'm saying John Morant because um, Minnesota was interested, and was actually like a week or so ago. Reports
Get your
came out
mic back.
that
I can barely hear you.
can you hear me now?
Yeah. When you do
Uh,
that, hell, good.
yeah. So reports came out of about a week ago that Minnesota was interested in John Morant. So we don't know what's going to happen with John Morant. We don't know. But now Lamelo is possibly going to be on the block, or he is on the block. Minnesota may figure out who might they want. These two was drafted together. Lamelo won Rookie of the Year, and I'm gonna tell you something that I noticed. Just because I'm not streaming, that don't mean I'm not watching. I seen the game that they played with Minnesota. If you watch closely, at the end of that goddamn game, Lamelo and Anthony Edwards had a conversation. There was a lot of laughing. There was a lot of whispering in each other's ears. Pause. Something tells me something could be brewing with Minnesota. And let's not be surprised if something like that was to take place. I don't know who they have at guard. Who's to say that they need a guard in the trade? Because they could be they could be looking to tank anywhere. This is a big draft coming up, Pope. This draft they saying is one of the biggest drafts ever. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm following you, but I'm trying to. Okay, who they giving up though? It's got to make sense for Charlotte. Yes, who they giving up?
Oh no, I'm McDaniels. McDaniels hasn't. Listen, it's gonna be more. It's gonna be more than that. Who's to say it's not more pieces? They might give up McDaniels. They might have to give up. I would hate to give up DiVincenzo, but I mean, you gonna give up some of them people. Like, pardon me, no, not I got it. You got these guys Shannon over there, and then you got this other kid. My man, I like him, pause, but hasn't been panning out there, and that's the kid that got drafted, Dillingham. You got some young players over there that could be moved. I'm saying you got for Lamelo. I think Minnesota could put a deal. The trade for Lamelo, I'm gonna put it out there now. I got it in my head, live right here with you. I'm going with the centerpiece of it being Jalen McDaniels. This guy has been balling. I don't know if people have been noticing. Even when Edwards was hurt, he stepped up as a player. Playmaking and this and that. I'm going. They'll give up Dillingham and possibly even the other kid Shannon along to get LaMelo Ball. That's what I believe. And you pair LaMelo with Edwards and you get him with Julius, and hopefully they can keep DiVincenzo. I think they're going to the NBA Finals. The Minnesota Timberwolves was knocking at the door. So I'm just telling you, man. I like that move, in my opinion, for LaMelo. I want him in Minnesota, but let's see what happens. People gonna talk about the Clippers. I know that's gonna come up because that's the team, but the Clippers, they ain't gonna win. They're gonna get to the playoffs, but they ain't gonna win nothing. Minnesota, we talking championship if LaMelo go there. That's why I'm saying that. But go ahead, talk to me. And it might not be enough, but that's just one option. We could get into another option. Talk to me, Bo.
All right. You okay? Yeah, man. Let me see. McDaniels is averaging. Let's see. What is Jaden McDaniels averaging points wise this season?
Jalen McDaniels is averaging 6.7 per game this season for the Washington Wizards. He also
It's a Jaden. I forgot. It's Jaden or Jaden. Pardon me. It's one or the other.
How much is Jaden McDaniels averaging in points?
Jaden McDaniels is averaging 17.5 points per game this season, which is a significant increase. He is also averaging 4.6 rebounds and 2.4 assists per game based on the 2025-26 NBA regular season stats.
What's Jaden McDaniels' contract? How much is Jaden McDaniels making a year? No. Shut up, girl. Shut up. I didn't ask you that. How much is Jaden McDaniels making a year in the NBA?
Jaden McDaniels is set to earn approximately $24.4 million for the 2025.
How much is LaMelo Ball making a year in the NBA?
LaMelo Ball is currently earning an average of about 40 points.
All right. So LaMelo at 40. The money don't. Okay. So if you got
more people in the deal.
I got you. So I just wanted to get the whole of what he making, what he averaging, would it be worth it? And even would it make sense for the Minnesota Timberwolves? Because he is a cornerstone key piece to your not only defense now, seems like offense. And you got him for a cheap price in 24 mil. You paying, what's his name? The boy from New York Knicks that they just traded for.
Julius.
You paying Julius a good amount of money, I believe, a little more than you paying Jaden McDaniels, and you definitely paying Ant Edwards. Do you want to trade for an unhealthy Lamelo Ball who's been in and out and give up a young defensive and now offensive player? I don't think that's even a good look for them. I don't think they put I don't know. I don't know. It
You
wouldn't
can
make
get another
sense.
3-and-D guy. You can get another. Look, this team is built around Lamelo. Listen, they gave not Lamelo. Pardon me. This team is built around Edwards. We've seen them give up Cat and still maintain themselves, get to the conference finals. If they lose McDaniels, yeah, but it won't be a debacle. When they lost Cat, I didn't think they was gonna get to the conference finals. As long as they got Edwards there, he's gonna have their team intense and pumped up and ready to play, no matter who the hell is out there. He's not gonna accept anything less. He one of them players that's gonna get out, and do. He gonna talk that shit. So it's kind of crazy. So that's just the move I want to see, the ideal move for Lamelo.
That's more of a flight want to see that.
That's all I'm saying. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm saying, but we got to talk about what's reality though. Flight.
Let's talk reality.
Let me, because that don't make sense for neither party. Like him coming there, we got Miles Bridges and you got Brandon Miller, and that's basically his position. So now you got to move them around, and you have too many moving. It really don't fit for nobody. You would like that because you want the Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball, but that's not what's realistic. Is we got to think of both parties getting something. So it's either like Orlando Magic can give up Black because the point guard Anthony Black and some other cats in super draft picks or whatever have you. Spurs can give up Fox because they got Castle and they can mix Castle and LaMelo Ball together. Dallas can give up Anthony Davis since he's the contract match and he's the injury prone as well. So it'd be risk versus risk. We giving you LaMelo, who's the injury prone, but at least he's younger. And so hopefully you got action if you Dallas. So I'm looking at it like we winning that trade because at least we dealing with an injury prone guy who's young compared to Anthony Davis, who's old and he's injury prone. So if Charlotte Hornets say, okay, because that's what the Hornets need. If they can get Anthony Davis and just for him to even be healthy for 2-3 years, that's how they can look at it. Like if we can get this nigga to be healthy and play for the most part for the next 2 years with Con Knippel, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and his young core, Zion James, that'll make sense for them too. So I can see something like that happening. Can the Lakers get in play with the LeBron James? See, you got to think way broader. LeBron James and the Lakers might cut ties. And I understand they got Luka, but Luka and LaMelo is interchangeable when it comes to 1 and 2. They both can do that. They can score a high clip, assist, and pass the ball a high clip. So if you LeBron James, ain't too many people gonna want to rock with you. Ain't too many people gonna want to trade, especially no star player, healthy, young, for no LeBron James. You're gonna have to. So LeBron gonna have to accept. All right, listen, and who would probably take a Bronny and a LeBron? A franchise like Charlotte, and if LeBron can go to Charlotte, who knows, and do his last hurrah with Jordan in Jordan's hometown. Who knows what that's like? That's a storyline in itself. They'll make it into something. So at least it'll be some money out of it if that happens. But yeah, Clippers, who do they got to trade for? Nobody really. They ain't got nobody interested. They want to trade for. Houston, look, I think they want to keep their core how it is. Pistons, I'm sure they want to keep. So because you said contenders, yeah, I think of contenders, they all kind of solid and good. Now, Jamal Murray for LaMelo Ball, Denver Nuggets. We got to talk about Denver Nuggets. That could be. I would like to see Melo go to the Denver Nuggets if we can make that's a chip. See, I don't know what flight Tom. I don't know why flight about the Timberwolves. Fuck the Timberwolves. They trash. Even LaMelo go over there, they're gonna be trash. Anthony Edwards, I don't believe in him whatsoever. He's not that guy to me. He's a stat stuffer, but he's an idiot. And LaMelo's an idiot. Both of them are idiots off the court. You don't need to put two goofballs together and then them try to do something. So what about Miami? No. Who do they have to trade for LaMelo Ball? They do got that. No, that's not Denver. Jamal Murray for LaMelo Ball and some draft picks or something, because again, injured player for injured player. But Jamal Murray not so much injured. It's sort of say, but I would like to see him go to Denver. What you think about that? LaMelo and Nikola Jokic.
I mean, that's not bad at all. I mean, I think you talking potential championships there too, competing for the conference finals. Listen, man, whatever it takes to get LaMelo in that. I want LaMelo in the playoffs this season. I said that I've been consistent for all year long, probably forever. Especially this year. I've been disinterested. I know that Con Knipple has emerged into this Rookie of the Year candidate. But that's not what the Hornets look like they're going to go. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're destined for the lottery. This is another disgusting. This is another disgusting year, for the Charlotte Hornets. So I have been, I ain't been able to watch it, but I'm with you to answer the question about the Nuggets. I like that move, because you're talking about pairing him with Jokic, but this is LaMelo, man. I just want that sizzle. I want that sizzle. That's not Minnesota. You talk. I understand. I know it's not realistic what you said in your opinion, but let's not
even that. It don't. That wouldn't even. That doesn't fit. It doesn't even equate. Again, Anthony Edwards is just. He's like a LeBron. He's not that dude. And then both LaMelo Ball is. He's a goofball off the court. Like I don't know. He got this bravado, but I love him. I know who he's been like that. Anthony Edwards is he's a dumbass. You don't need two dumbasses together.
No. See, but listen, I'm be honest with you. What I've observed, and like I said, other people might know more or better. From what I've seen from Edwards, the man is a dog, man, and he went on the podium with Karl Anthony Towns and told him to stop fucking fouling. This is Karl Anthony Towns. This was his team. I mean, you just got here, and then this guy is.
You like them hood mentality niggas, bro. That's never gonna get you nowhere. That's not gonna get you no chips. Go look at niggas who win chips. They're not the hood mentality niggas. Hood mentality niggas don't get you nothing but like Allen Iverson. They get you stats. They get you highlights. That's it, bro. They get money. They get stats and highlights. They don't get chips.
Well, like I said, I don't know about all that, but what I'll tell you about this by
Come on, let me hold on, because I really haven't got to lay down the play because you say you know about all of that. Look at your champions: Jokic, Giannis, Kobe, Jordans, LeBrons, Tatum's. Of course, look at your champions. Look at your MVP Finals champions. Steph. They're not hood niggas, bro. None of them. KD.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm gonna speak LaMelo to Minnesota too. So don't be surprised in the coming days we hear Minnesota start creeping in. LaMelo gonna have a list of teams. Let's see tomorrow. This shit gonna be on front page news. Stephen A. Everybody gonna pick this up. Stephen A. done did the podcast with the Ball brothers already. You don't think this gonna be front page news? Let me tell you something. He ain't going to New York. Minnesota got an issue. You know the issue? Who beat them the last 2 years? it was Kyrie Irving, right? And now they got an SGA issue. Imagine they throw Lamelo in that situation. Now I understand you got Conley and all this cool shit, but could you? I mean, you start to equalize things now. I know SG. You put Lamelo in there with Edwards with Julius there.
That makes no sense.
I'm telling you. I'm telling. And another thing, I don't mean to cut you off. And I want to answer another thing about Edwards. The man, even before, like the season before, they went 6 games in the conference finals to, didn't they? Who the hell did they lose to? Was it Dallas? Yeah, they won. I think they whatever it was, they were knocking at the door for a chip, for the last couple of years, So to say that Edwards, may not win it or this and that, I'm not saying that he's going to win it this season, but I think he's going to eventually win a championship. There's reports that Michael Jordan is behind Edwards. He's telling Edwards to put his back to the basket, to score like that, to do this. So there's people trying to help this guy get to the promised land. I'm not saying that he's going to win it all, but I'm just, I'm letting you know that he's in the running to eventually win a chip in the next 5 years, or so. About the next 5 years, he should, if not made a finals, at least won one. But talk to me.
I mean, hood mentality type of people, players, they don't win chips. They get stats, they get the bag, they get the bitch. That's it. That's all they care about. They selfish people. So when Tone, shout out to you, Tone, Iowa, Tone, BC, Iowa, said, I'm going to left field. No, I'm right in the right field. LaMelo Ball has a hood mentality. What's his name? Anthony Edwards, same way. You don't put them two degenerates together and think you're going to get – you need leaders of men. Your boy already came out and said, Anthony Edwards, I don't want to be a role model and so on and so forth. We know him as a degenerate. Ja Morant, stats, highlights, the bag, the bitches. That's all they care about. They're cool with that, right? And so, look, Melo Ball, fresh in the league, get an IG model who 50 years older than them, right? And so their minds ain't right. You don't need to put them together. That's why I said Nipple was perfect for the Hornets because all he want to do is hoop. And that's who LaMelo need to surround himself around is people that just want to hoop. And they don't care about all the flashy stuff. They don't care about going out to the parties. They don't care about IG models. They just want to hoop. And that's a Nipple. That's KD. That's LeBron James. That's Steph Curry. That's Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's Nikola Jokic. That's Jason Tatum. That's Jaylen Brown. That's those players. See, so I want LaMelo to go be surrounded by players that just want to hoop. So he need to go with I'd rather have him be with Nikola Jokic or Victor Wembanyama in San Antonio or Cooper Flag in Dallas because those players might rub off on him the right way. Him being around Anthony Edwards, who denouncing babies and just paying off the mamas like I don't want to. I'm gonna bust, all in these chicks and have babies and don't want to take care of them and so on and so forth. It's too much. It's ridiculous.
Well, like I said, I'm not looking into it that deep. I'm looking more into the basketball floor. But I understand where you get into
the all basketball. You can't sit here and say, I just explained. Everybody's name is all hoopers. I just told you why. It's not about, come on, pal.
So you said Edwards not a hooper?
Everything I just said. I
just so Edwards not a hooper?
Mentality.
So you don't think Anthony Edwards is a hooper?
Damn, Fly. You must really didn't listen to nothing I said, bro. I just gave you 2 different categories. The champions, I gave you all the champions. Right. I gave you all the niggas who highlights. Allen Iverson, stats, highlights, bags, bitches. Ja Morant, stats, highlights, bags, bitches. I'm giving you when you got a hood mentality, like a Steven Jackson or those type of guys, they get stats. They get the bitches. They don't get the championship. Tim Duncans get the championship. Those type of players. LaMelo Ball don't need to be with an Anthony Edwards who's a degenerate. They don't have the mind. He's a John Morant. They got the skills. He's a hooper. They don't got the mind. It takes more than just skills in hooping to be a champion. You have to be a leader of men. They're not leaders of men. Neither one of them. LaMelo, nor Anthony Edwards. Why would you want to put them together and think you're gonna get good results out of that? You're not.
Well, like I said, we're gonna have to see. The only reason why I brought that up is because I told you a week ago, reports came out that Minnesota is interested in monitoring what's going on in Memphis involving John Morant. So now today with the reports of LaMelo, so I don't want to make it. The reason why I'm explaining this is because I don't want to make it seem like I'm pulling this out of thin air. I'm just putting two and two together. If they can't get John Morant, will they turn their attention to LaMelo if they could get it for cheaper? Because Ja is not on the trade block. LaMelo just said that he's open to being traded. So does the value lessen? Is when that's why maybe Minnesota's looking. Maybe you don't have to give up fucking McDaniels. Maybe I don't know. You might be a 3-team trade. Pardon me. There's a lot of people that want to make a move here, Poe. And when you're talking about a big name like this, there's probably gonna be a few other teams involved. Is 9 times out of 10 it ain't gonna be a Luka straight. That was kind of an anomaly. So I'm just putting this shit out there. So
the thing is the fact. Shout out to Hoop in the building.
Shout out to the man Hoop jogging in the building. Talk to me.
The thing is though is LaMelo isn't that big. He's not. Okay. So he's not the Luka. Right, LaMelo not a Luka. LaMelo be hurt, so it's the price of LaMelo ain't the same no more. His skill set is there, but his availability is questionable. So, am I gonna give you a perennial superstar all-star like a Jaylen Brown for LaMelo or Tyrese Maxey? No. Would I have used to? Could we have done a head-up type of trade? No. You either gonna have to be older, like a De'Aaron Fox, but still valuable and can help my team. That's why I'm trading for you. Or you got to be like Ant Davis. That's why I said Ant Davis, where the contracts match, because the contracts got to match. And I don't know, 3-team, 4-trade team for LaMelo Ball, who's the injury prone. That's what I'm saying. Who's the injury prone? I don't know if so many teams that get involved to make something happen. He ain't. I don't know. I don't know what his stock looked like. I'm just saying that, due to his injuries.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of ways we can go
his
about this.
High?
You talking about who, LaMelo's?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was explaining. Like I said, they might be able to get him for cheap.
They so get him cheap because his contract is his contract.
Right. It's ways yeah, you're right, but it's ways to make the money work. That, like I said, you get another team involved. Let's see what Charlotte want to do. Like I said, it's a big draft coming up. So let's see what happens. You got Lauri Markkanen out there. I'm not saying that he's going to be moved to Charlotte, but he may be involved. This may be some kind of 3-way, 4-way kind of situation where things is getting, people just getting moved the fuck around. So I mean, I don't know how it's gonna work, but I do know that LaMelo's days in Charlotte are numbered. So I'm just giving you the team and why I said Minnesota. So, but let's see. I understand your claims, but wherever he goes, I want him in the playoffs and competing for a championship. Minnesota does that. You brought up Denver. Denver does that for them. Even San Antonio does it, but then you got injury concerns. LaMelo, obviously, like you just said, the injury issues is a situation. You got the situation with Wemby. That he's a big guy. Pause. This guy, it's a situation. This guy, you don't know. You don't want 2 guys dealing with this. So I don't know how. And they loaded at guard. They still got the other kid that's on the bench. So I mean, and it's so crazy that you said this because Lonzo did say something prior to the season starting, and he said that they was going to trade for Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper ain't even play a game yet. He's still on the bench. That's what I'm saying. They just drafted a point guard. They may not even have to give up Fox or Castle or whoever, but do you want LaMelo in this log jam situation? Don't you want him to get the reins somewhere? Do you want him to go somewhere where all these goddamn guards go to play with Fox? I mean, is that
Lamelo's clearly better than any of them guards. So no, when he would be the clear starter, and him and Wemby would be the 1-2 punch, and everything will work around them. But the main thing is, the main question too is, can Lamelo, is he healthy?
right?
I don't know, but if they talking trading them, I'm trading. Like I said, if you're gonna trade them. Yeah, somebody said the Brooklyn. Nah, they trash. Ain't no Brooklyn Nets. They trash. But I don't know, man. I'm trying to see Melo on a winning. If he gonna leave, what's this? Hornets. If he gonna leave the Hornets, he need to be in a winning situation. I don't want to see him with no Minnesota. My bad, Fly. I'm so against the Minnesota thing because that's just terrible. Just them two together. I can, again, I don't like that hood shit. Especially when it comes to sports.
Lamelo would love it.
Them niggas ain't even hood. Right. That's cool. You can love it all you want. But again, that's what I'm saying. I want to see.
I'm sorry, go.
No trip. My bad. I'm gonna let, because I want to see Lamelo maximize his potential. I don't think you can do that when you're playing with cats that's not fully in, and I don't think Anthony Edwards is fully in. I think he's
it was reports. Oh, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of correlations, involving Minnesota. It was also another report. I don't know how the hell I forgot to mention this. It was a recent report that came out saying that Minnesota was interested in picking Lamelo at number 1, but the reason why they didn't do it was because he said that he wanted to be the president when he got older. That made them look a certain kind of way away from him. But they looked at Lamelo at that number 1 pick. So I mean, it's gonna be crazy to see what happens. Not to say that he's going to Minnesota, but I'd rather him there than Brooklyn. I mean, do you want him in Brooklyn? I mean, so I mean, I'd rather him in San Antonio than Brooklyn. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I just think Brooklyn is another Charlotte situation. He can't go to another Charlotte situation.
I didn't say nothing about no Brooklyn. I said
I'm throwing Brooklyn out
Which
there.
one would you? Okay, which one would you see? And that's the thing. I don't know. I don't understand because let me ask the chat. Shout out to Blue. He said, "Pope said them niggas ain't even hood. No, they not. They not hood at all. They fake hood." But which one would you rather see him, and where you think he would have a better chance at winning a chip, Denver or Minnesota? With Jokic, you'd rather see Lamelo with Jokic or Ant Edwards?
I'm gonna say Anthony Edwards, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Please.
Yo, they can't fuck with
y'all
Anthony.
Answer that too for me too, Chad. Y'all rather see him with Jokic
Listen
or
to
Ant
me.
Edwards?
Listen to me. They can't fuck with Anthony Edwards. He already done put the candle to them niggas. Let me tell you something. This guy Gordon know he can't fuck with Edwards. You understand? Edwards done already handed them their hearts. So I'm gonna be real with you. The way that he did Denver. Denver looked invincible until they went up against these guys.
No, they didn't. They almost lost to the Lakers. The Lakers took them 7 before that. They was barely beaten. They was looking terrible. I'm like, no, hold on, because I remember this. The Denver Nuggets looked terrible versus the Lakers to get past them. Even though I think they swept them, but they barely beat them each game, and they didn't look like themselves every game. Like it was bad. But go ahead.
Like I said, I just feel like Edwards, he has really took Denver's heart. I think that it's gonna be. They know that they can't deal with him. They can't guard him. He like Jordan against Denver. So I just think that he got their number. Something about a team is
that's not even the question though. Fly. I asked you, which would you think he have a better chance to win a championship? If Lamelo was on the Nuggets, so do you think if Lamelo was on the Nuggets that Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves would have just beat the Nuggets?
No, I'm not gonna say that, but I'm telling you. Asked me where would he have a better chance at winning? I said Minnesota. The reason why I said Minnesota is because I think because they have an SGA problem. Let me tell you something. The reason why Minnesota can't get over the hump is because of SGA. I believe that LaMelo Ball going up in the series with SGA, with Edwards, with Julius. I mean, the situation is going to be a little different here with SGA. SGA, I mean, he could shoot, but he's not the best shooter. I mean, he ain't lights out, but when he get hot, he get hot. But I'm just saying, even OKC, they wasn't the best 3-point shooting team all season, last year, but they can hit the three every now and then. I noticed that they wasn't the best 3-point shooting team, despite them winning it all. You put Lamelo in there with SGA. I'm telling you, now Minnesota, they don't have Conley. Conley is nice and all, but now you got a guy that's able to go up against some of the best point guards in the Western Conference and really take their ass out. I mean, SGA versus Lamelo, that could be a duel. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Lamelo ain't just gonna lay down. He gonna go pound for pound with SGA. And I'm just gonna tell you right now that changes the dynamic in the Western Conference. That's the reason why I'm saying.
Got you. Let's see. I mean, yeah. Anthony Edwards, what is he doing this year? 25, 4, 3. What's Minnesota record? They looking good this season? What's Minnesota Timberwolves record? Where they rank in the Western Conference?
Let me look it up.
I got it.
The Minnesota Timberwolves currently have an 8-3 record, and they are ranked 3rd in the Western Conference. They are behind the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Los Angeles Lakers.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah, you got Luka.
Yeah. Again, I'm not a fan. Maybe that's what it is for me. I'm not a fan of Anthony Edwards. I don't believe in him. Just like LeBron James, he's a phony hooper. He's not a killer. He's not a killer for sure. He can hoop. He's not a killer. He doesn't excite me at all. It's like I don't know what y'all into these days. It's like people, not just you. Anthony Edwards is an exciting player to you.
Yes.
He doesn't really dunk on nobody. He doesn't do nothing. He doesn't do nothing. What does he do?
Listen, I'm gonna keep 100 with you, man. Like he earned my respect. He earned my respect.
I mean, he not. Hold on, let me look at them stats again. He averaging 25 points a game. That's what is that? That's tough.
Listen, man, you got
he's not averaging high rebounds. He's trash to me. I mean, not trash. I mean, not trash, but he's not that guy. He's not that guy.
That's hoop jogging. Hoop jogging.
You're on mute.
Yes, sir. What's good?
What's good, hoop jogging? I see you driving.
Yeah. What's the deal, fellas?
Yo, what's your thoughts on the situation? I know you hear what's going on. There's an echo going on too.
All right, let me try to take it off this.
Yeah, shout out to y'all, man. We got breaking news in the NBA. Lamelo Ball, MB1 to 101. It's crazy. The echo done came back.
Yeah, he on mute now. But yeah, man. Yeah. Not just I don't see what y'all see. 25 points a night when you're supposed to be a scorer and you don't really got other scores. Yeah. That ain't you Austin Reeves. You basically Austin Reeves.
Nah, them niggas can't fuck with Edwards on another level than Reeves, man. Reeves, come on, man. Reeves is cool, but he ain't Edwards.
And Reeves averages the same amount of shit.
Reeves
averages about the same amount of points.
I don't know. We're gonna find out. But like I said, you put Lamelo. Minnesota need a guard. Minnesota need an electrifying guard to deal with what's going on in the West.
Austin Reeves is averaging 28 points, man, and 7 assists, man.
Yeah, but does that mean he's better? Does that mean he's better than Anthony Edwards?
Yes.
No,
correct.
No,
he's having a much better season.
They're having a hell of a year this year.
Let me ask you this.
That's what I'm saying. You have an elite guard.
Is he having a better season? Hold on. Is he having a better season?
Does he have Luka Doncic with him?
Is he having a better season?
Listen, I can't say that.
That's a yes or no.
I can't say that. I can't say that.
If they having an MVP race, and let's say it's out of Edwards and Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is winning that.
No, I'm gonna say Edwards because Edwards is actually the number one option. You know, and they right on their heels. I mean, you act like they way down 12 or something. I mean, they 3-2. They're 3-2, and he's the number one option, Pope.
Oh, okay.
I mean, come on, this guy. What is he? The third now? He went to the third option now, fourth. I mean, Reeves. I like
Austin Reeves put up a 50 ball when
LeBron back.
No Luka. Hold on. No Luka was on the floor. Put a 50 ball. No Luka.
That's right.
So I mean, I know you say Luka there, but Luka been hurt. And let me see. How many games Luka Doncic missed this season?
A lot.
Luka Doncic missed 3 games this season.
It's 3
because of injuries.
3 out of what?
These were
out of about 13. Out of about 10 out of 10. So okay, all right. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. He didn't miss a lot. Yeah, there's 3. But yeah, man. I mean, we can't blame him averaging having a better season and again, that's what I'm saying. If you average in 25, then you should have high assists at least around 7. Let me see. Anthony Edwards stats for this season. How many points Anthony Edwards averaged this season?
Compare the stats.
Anthony Edwards is averaging 25.2 points per game this season. He also averages 4.3 rebounds and 3.5 assists per game.
3 assists. That's terrible. That's what I mean. So you're not scoring crazy. I mean, you're scoring, but you fit 25.2. That you almost at 24 points a night. You're this close to 24 points a night. Okay, so it's 25.2, not 25.8. So you ain't on the tick of 26. You more on the verge of 24. And then you only averaging 3 assists, and you only grabbing 4 rebounds. How many points Austin Reeves averaged this season?
Austin Reeves is averaging 28.1 points per game this season. He also averages 7.6 assists and 5.1 rebounds per game.
Average more assists, more points. He probably shooting better. I'm sure he's shooting better than him too. Come on, man. So again, either this league is watered down and it's not that hard to score points and I don't want to take nothing away from Austin Reeves. He's doing his thing. Definitely doing his thing. But really doing his thing. 28? That's crazy. Okay, maybe it's early. It's early. And I don't think that's going to sustain. I think that's going to come way down. He going to be, that's probably by the end of the year. He 22, 24. He ain't standing no fucking 20, nowhere close to 28. That's nuts. But the 7 assists and the 5 rebounds is impressive. So even if he's not scoring at a high clip, what did it say? And is a shooting guard. Yes, so is Austin Reeves. What are we talking? Austin Reeves not a point guard. Luka Doncic is the point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. Austin Reeves not a point guard. That even makes it even, and it don't matter. Listen, it wouldn't matter if he was. The fact that he's scoring, assisting, and rebounding at a higher clip than Anthony Edwards, he's having a better season, period. I wouldn't give a fuck if he was a small forward. Power forward. He's doing everything better than Anthony Edwards, not just in one category. When it comes to points, assists, and rebounds. That's all I know. That's all I'm seeing in front of my face right here. But 3 assists is for Anthony Edwards is horrible. Horrible. Kobe Bryant averaged 6 assists. Kobe Jordan averaged 6 assists. You're talking about guys that putting up 30 attempts a night, damn near. Still managed to average 6 assists. You averaging 3? You're not doing no playmaking. And again, if you're not playmaking, then you better be hellified scoring. You better be scoring. All that he got, Luka Doncic. Okay, all right. If that's your excuse for the kid having way better numbers than Anthony Edwards, then okay, that's your excuse. Blame it on the rain. You feel me?
We're gonna have to find out. I mean, it's gonna be interesting, to see what's going on, with this trade. But you like I said, there's a lot of good teams. You brought up some good teams. I mean, I just don't. You're real dismissive on Minnesota, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But I do believe that Minnesota is going to be one of the teams that is maybe on a short list or something like that. It wouldn't surprise me.
Well, if they going after John Morant, then it wouldn't surprise me neither, my brother, that they go after. If you going after that dumbass, again, that's cool. But yeah, I'd rather see my boy Lamelo as a longtime supporter. I'd rather see him on a smooth franchise like the Denver Nuggets, who already been there, done that, won a championship, got the best player in the league on their team, goes about his business the right way, a real professional, because LaMelo Ball has still yet to have anybody show him how to be a professional. When he got to the Hornets, his OGs was Terry Rozier and Miles Bridges. So they're not professional. That's you see the degenerate that Terry Rozier is, right? Gambling and all that shit with the mob ties and all that shit. We see the degenerate that Miles Bridges is, putting hands on his baby mama allegedly or whatever have you. We see the degenerate that PJ Washington is. This is what LaMelo Ball has been around as a rookie, and still has yet to have somebody to come in there, especially a superstar that he can look up to, and show him how to go about the business of being a professional. It's all about. And Anthony Edwards ain't that dude. So again, a long-term supporter, I want to see LaMelo go to somebody like a Jokic or even a Wemby who's been trained and tailor made by the Spurs since he was a little kid and has done things the right way all the way through. And so go to a organization like that. But come on, man, you want him to go with Anthony Edwards and the fucking Minnesota Timberwolves? They never won shit. Come on, man. You set him up for failure. That's crazy. They're not gonna win, bro. Nuh-uh.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. I want to see some teams that you also brought up. Like you even said Orlando. I think you said something about the Magic. I don't like that move either. Orlando is horrendous this year. So you damn sure don't want them over there. You want them in a winning situation around some structure. Around that's what you kind of want. Look, the Hornets has been a debacle ever since he got there. Let's stop acting like it started with this regime that's here. I mean, you had Michael Jordan, you had Kupchak, you had all of these guys who was just messing things up and not running it. They got lapped by all of these organizations. I mean, if you LaMelo, you should be disgusted. You should have been open to a trade because basically you have all your guys who lapped you. You have even Cade Cunningham is these guys are winning. They moving on up.
But that's Melo fault more than anything. He been hurt.
Well, I mean, you can say that, but the team also has not. The team also has not progressed very well. In my humble opinion.
For sure, but you can't. I mean, you can't only move. You only do so much when you under a rookie contract that you now just turned into the max contract. So they was able to pay you the most. They had they thumb on your everything. So he had to go with the flow, and now it'll look stupid on him. You go with the flow. They signed you to this max deal, even though you only played a few games. So it was smart for him to stay quiet, take the deal. Boom. Now he hurt again. As soon as after he took the deal, he got hurt again. He can't. What he gonna do then? I want to request.
They taking him off the ball too. They also are taking LaMelo off the ball. You know, I'm noticing that they want Lamelo to basically be the quarterback of the basketball team. Like it was times in the fourth quarter where he wasn't even looking for his shot. I was like, what the hell is going on? I mean, I understand that you're the point guard. He was passing, but he always been a pass first. He almost using his offense as a weapon, you know, to open up the pass. You know, but this was like he was just directly looking to pass it to everybody else. You know, so I don't know if that was coming from the top or what, you know, but it's just he just wasn't playing. He just not been playing like himself, you know, in my opinion. I just feel like it feels like it's a power struggle going on with him and Charles Lee, you know, and I believe behind the scenes Charles Lee wouldn't mind Lamelo getting the hell up out of there. You know, he ready to go behind Con Knipple. Shit, and they'll be at Brandon Miller's doorstep next. You know, who's to say that they're going to keep Miles Bridges? You know, I'm telling you, this is a big draft coming up. You know, so if you're gonna move Lamelo, you're gonna start to open the floodgates. They just had a good draft. This organization feeling good. They probably feel like we draft well. Shit, we can go ahead and let everybody go. Let's get to this draft. Go in for another regime and let's build the team for real. So I think Lamelo leaving it was inevitable. It should have happened a long time ago. I mean, it's been delayed. We're delaying the inevitable with Lamelo Ball. The Hornets are on a dead end. They're not going to win this season. You know, Con Knipple, it's no problem for him. He may win Rookie of the Year, and the Charlotte Hornets had a horrendous year, and Lamelo missed the playoffs again. You know, this is just not something that I want to watch. You know, I understand we got a good rookie, but the Hornets are losing every game. Like yesterday's game was just embarrassing. You know, I mean, Charles Lee should be fired, you know, but now that they got some young players, you know, they're gonna get behind him. It works well for Charles Lee to have LaMelo moved because now you could stay here with these young players. You don't have to be on a timeline of, oh, we got to get to the playoffs, or we got to do. There's no expectations with Con Knipple. You know, you can ride
You
out
know
the next.
where he at though? The real spot is where the sleeper is Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics. Because they it is close. They still, you know, no is Tatum playing? Tatum not playing, right? Yeah, right.
No, Tatum is out, but I mean, I guess you'll be building for next season. You got Brown now.
Exactly. So no, we compete this season. If we get LaMelo Ball in the building, we can win Jaylen Brown, paired with Jaylen Brown, a real I'd rather LaMelo play with Jaylen Brown than Anthony Edwards. Jaylen Brown is a real professional. He goes about it. He just goes to work. He just want to go work.
I
Right?
can't root
But
for Boston. I can't root for Boston, man. I'm
me
sorry.
neither. Me neither. But because it ain't about me. See, I'm telling you, I'm looking at
And
what
another thing, they ninth in the East. Ninth in the
and
East. Come on.
who the Boston Celtics, right? So if you got rid of what's the light skinned point guard they got, White?
Anthony? No, White.
No, White.
Coach.
White
Yeah,
and
yeah. Yeah,
somebody
White.
else. You can get rid of White and somebody else, and Charlotte might come up off of that and be smooth with that. And Boston will definitely come up off because again, you get Melo Ball and he healthy, you'll see that ninth seed go straight up to 6th, 4th, 5th seed. They get in there. LaMelo Ball paired with Jaylen Brown, and then you end up having the dynamic of Jason Tatum, Brown, and LaMelo next year. Shit. Sign me up. If I'm the Celtics, I'm going hard for LaMelo Ball. Yeah, I'm going hard. Forget Horford and Porzingis. They was trash anyways. I'm going to get LaMelo Ball, and I'm figuring it out. Yeah. Yeah,
I don't
yes.
know.
Tatum, Brown, LaMelo. Yeah, I fuck around and be a Celtics fan. I fuck around and root for the Celtics secretly.
I don't know if I could do all that.
I don't like Tatum at all. I mean, he's a baller though. He plays. He just plays a little gay to me a little bit. A little bit. He don't show up in big moments and he frees up. I hate that about him. I hate that about him. But if you got LaMelo, you ain't got he be perfect. His role, you got LaMelo and Brown because they suited for those roles. They're ready for the okay, let's go. I'll put you on, come on my shoulders and Then let's go. I'll take you to the promised land. And so I think, yeah, Boston. Go ahead, make the run, Boston. I didn't see that until then.
We're gonna see.
Boston split the championship team. It's not the same. Look, Horford and Porzingis they old and washed anyways. And so everybody else they got, if they put because you it's gonna be easy to put the NBA is about superstars. And then you can put the role players around your superstars. You got the right superstars paired with each other. It's a problem, like a Steph, KD, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. That's a problem. And then you got superstars, but they mesh well. See, now superstars like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, no. Those three same mentalities, terrible, and not going to get you nowhere. See, but Lamelo, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum, that right there is going to win you championships. Them three. You can put whatever you want around them three. Put a big that can rebound a little bit, whatever. But them three on your team, nigga, you're not losing. That's like Steph, Clay, and KD, basically, in a sense. In a sense. That's tough.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be, listen, man. LaMelo's leaving, Charlotte. I knew this was going to happen. I mean, what do you think is the direction for Charlotte? I mean, after LaMelo gets moved eventually, inevitably.
Con the Don. Con the motherfucking, and listen.
Just get behind him.
The cold twist is, this is going to be the cold twist. They're going to get good.
Listen, I ain't gonna front. They probably will. Listen, you gotta
get good, bro.
You ain't gonna watching Con Knuckle. You gotta give him the reins. And I mean they drafted him. That's their guy.
You put a Devin White and some other pieces, some around Con the Don, and get him a coach that know what he's doing. Yeah, the Charlotte Hornets can be tough. Not right now, but it'll be a few years. If they draft good like they just did again, and regardless of what, listen, one thing, I don't like what he's running, but I gotta say the development stage from what I've seen, Diabante and who else? Yeah, the development I see out of him and even Brandon Miller a little bit. It seems like he know how to develop talent. He know how to bring the best out of your individual skill sets. And I'm not saying it's necessarily all him, but whoever he hired to be the development coach or whatever they going over, it's looking good. Because I see a couple of players that look a lot better this season than they did. And even LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, them too. Miles Bridges with the threes, when he was knocking them threes down early in preseason, he was consistently, I'm like, this nigga been working on his shot. And I seen other niggas, I'm like, yeah, that nigga been working on his shot. I'm like, so they've been working in the Hornets facility, it seems like, it appears.
Yeah.
It's just the schematics of his, his schemes, offense and
why I got a question. Why are you so adamant that they're gonna get good once LaMelo leaves?
Because they're gonna build around Con. Con is a leader. Con is a leader. LaMelo's not a leader, bro, and that's the problem.
So I got a question. I don't mean to cut you off. You don't think they can lead with LaMelo there? His personality is too big.
No, it's not. He's not a leader.
LaMelo is the leader. He's
he's not a leader. He's not a leader.
He is the leader of the team.
He's not a leader, bro. He's
the
best player. That don't mean you're the leader.
Well, I mean,
KD, like Kevin Durant, is not a leader. Kyrie Irving is not a leader.
I'm gonna be honest.
Jason Tatum isn't a leader.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna be honest with you. Con was a great player. He's a good shooter. I'm not gonna say eventually he doesn't deserve, taking the last shot and things like that. But and they play well all game. It's the last second of the game. You got to give Lamelo the ball to take the shot. You can't give Miles Bridges a three.
Mm-mm.
To take take the last second shot. You can't look for Kalkbrenner. Lamelo was going to the lane. He didn't even look for his shot. He was just trying to give it to Kalkbrenner. So it's just a mess, man. What they've done to Lamelo. And I've seen this through the course of all these games where they want Lamelo to just run the team. You know, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I heard this because Lonzo was on a podcast. I think he was on the Stephen A. show. Lonzo is one of my favorite players, but he came out and said that Lamelo was given the opportunity to to basically run the team and do all the. He never basically had the authority to run the team or know to run how to run the proper offense. And it kind of definitely makes you take a magnifying glass of what's happening in Charlotte. So I thought that was some tough statements for him. So I think that Lamelo got to eventually get himself right. you know so I don't know if the time where the Hornets are going horrendous, if that was probably the best timing, you know, to say something like that. I think that, I don't know, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, the Hornets is just going down the drain. In my humble opinion, and they've been going down the drain for a while, and the drain could be good. It could look good for other people. Like you're very happy with Khan Knipple. You happy with them possibly being at the bottom of the standings. Going for the lottery again. I just think that with LaMelo on this roster and they go into the lottery, that's just horrendous, man. You got to get him the hell up out of here. He has to be traded. Everybody's got to go. Including Bridges. Bridges think he's slick. He's sitting there. He's behind Khan Knipple. He needs to be moved too. He's making big money, and the team is still horrendous. Everybody making some money need to go. In my opinion. But go ahead.
I mean, Lamelo needs to stay healthy. That's it
That's
really.
key.
None of this shit mattered. For the fact that kid got hurt already, that's tough. That says, that's tough. These injuries every single year, and not just missing a game or two or three. You out for damn near a month. And it's like, damn, already the season just started, my nigga. Like you've been out every year for a month or more. So I'm pretty sure this is still a long season to go. We ain't even got to Christmas break yet, and you already was out for almost a month. And so you already missed so many games. So that's crazy. That's what I've been waiting for. I've just been waiting to see him play a good 70 plus game, 70 plus games in the season and let me know he good. And the fact that it's the same ankle is so he's still that ankle is still an issue. That's tough, man. That's tough. Yeah. So but I'm about to go take my daughter, man, to her little tryout she got. I gotta get up out of here, man. Appreciate you having me on flight, talking some good basketball
Yeah,
hoops.
most definitely, man. Shout out to you.
Yeah. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to everybody, man.
Yeah, salute to everybody that's in the chat right now. Like I said, a lot of reports coming out involving Lamelo Ball's future. Um, this is a crazy situation going on, involving Lamelo Ball, where smoke is fire. Um, we gotta figure out what it's gonna how this whole thing is gonna end. But I do know one thing's for sure, that the Hornets, they wouldn't mind pushing him out the door. In my opinion, I really believe that they want LaMelo Ball traded. I really do, in my opinion. But it would be good to see all of them healthy. Right now Brandon Miller's out. Do you want to make a trade for LaMelo without seeing all of this? Come out. So it's crazy, to see. I would give it a little bit of time before they pull this move off with Lamelo. But like I said, the reports have came out. This has came out from Bleacher Report. There's a lot of sources, but the Hornets, but Lamelo has responded, to it with a clown emoji. That is true. But like I said, so basically, Lamelo is debunking this. Who leaked these reports? This is something that we do have to eventually come out. I believe that the Charlotte Hornets could be leaking information. At the end of the day, man, it's time for Lamelo to move. This is very reminiscent of when Carmelo was being pushed out in New York. He didn't want to leave New York. They pushed him out of New York. Even with a no trade clause, he got pushed out. So it's crazy, to say the least, at what's going on. But Lamelo Ball has responded, to the reports that he wants to be moved. Lamelo, like I said, it's crazy. Lamelo, in my opinion, the man played everywhere. Lithuania. Um, the man was everywhere. I mean, come on. The NBL, the guy. So I mean, Charlotte. That's like Vida Loca compared to all of the destinations he was at before. But Lamelo Ball has responded. So it's crazy. Um, this thing is getting berserk. So eventually, Lamelo is gonna have to speak out. I'm pretty sure microphones, cameras is gonna be in their face. Let's see what Peterson says. Let's see if the Hornets, may have leaked this. So it's crazy. So it's crazy. This is a wild situation, to say the least about Lamelo Ball. You know, Lamelo's man, like I said, this is crazy. He responded, but how many times have we seen this? Why did all of these people, why did all of these media publications post this? Why would Bleacher Report, Yahoo Sports, somebody in the Hornets possibly threw this out there, you know, that he wanted to be moved, but it's gonna be interesting. Shout out to Lamelo Ball now, you know. Lamelo Ball, I think that he wants to stay with Brandon Miller. He's forged a lot of good relationships with this team, and none of them want to leave Charlotte for whatever reason. For a team that never wins anything, that really has had a very hard time getting off the ground. It's very crazy to see that, that he doesn't really want to be moved, you know. So it's crazy, but he has responded, but I don't see Lamelo Ball on the Charlotte Hornets by next season though. You know, and if you're the Hornets, do you want to let him go now with these maybe false reports? He doesn't have a no trade clause. So they could trade Lamelo like a thief in the night. These things could happen. So do I believe it's going to happen like that? No. Um, do you move him at the deadline? Would it be better to let him play out this year with Con Knipple? Let him learn, and then possibly move him in the off season. Because the report Lamelo was combating these reports. He doesn't want to be moved. He's calling the reports, false. That especially that it came from the horse's mouth. You know, but I do see body language on the court. Lamelo definitely looks somewhat dismissive and passive. I don't think we've seen that. Lamelo's always been a guy to get the assist numbers up, but the way the passing it seemed like is coming from upstairs. Where he's doing all of these things to appease whatever the coaching staff is looking for. So it's crazy. Shout out to Lamelo Ball, man. MB1 to one of one. Shout out to the Charlotte Hornets because they need a lot of help, man. This has been a nasty year, for the Charlotte Hornets, man. Disgusting. I don't know how the Charlotte Hornets are going to shake off all of this losing. So it's gonna be interesting to see, y'all. But let me know your thoughts. What do you think of Lamelo Ball coming out and responding, to these reports? That he is not open to being traded. So it's crazy. It's wild that all this is happening, man. But this is the beginning, man. Where smoke is fire. Somebody from the Hornets put this out. They sent this to somebody. So did something happen? Because I'm pretty sure this is going to reach a lot of publications. So how did this? We'll see. And this is crazy. Yeah. So it's crazy what's going on with Lamelo. You know, um, shout out to the Charlotte Hornets, man. What are the Hornets gonna do? It says media always coming out with reports that has not serious. Now they're saying he's frustrated. They've been hating on him since day one. Yes, I believe that they eventually are going to push him out. They're going to push him out. In my humble opinion. So he responded. So I wouldn't be surprised if the guy who put this report out, especially if he is one of the Charlotte, observers or whoever the hell is out there. Um, I think that basically dude's job could be on the line, But just like Thunder said, this is the beginning of the dominoes. Like I said, they delaying the inevitable. So we could sit up here and argue this and argue that. Lamelo Ball has to be traded. Eventually the Charlotte Hornets they look like they need to give the team to Con Knipple. But as I'm thinking, do you really want to trade Lamelo Ball without seeing everybody healthy? The reports are saying that Brandon Miller should be coming back, so things are looking on the ups. From the recent reports. So you might want to hold that thought. But Slim says, I've been said they were going to trade LaMelo. Yes. I think that LaMelo Ball will be traded. I don't know if it's going to happen now, right away or what. But if you the Hornets, you might want to maximize the value, and it was another report came out that LaMelo's value is not as high as people may want or think it is, so it's crazy, but LaMelo Ball has responded to the trade rumors, so it's interesting to see what's going on with LaMelo, you know. Um, Jay says, I don't understand why LaMelo continues to want to stay in Charlotte. Like I said, he does. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see, y'all. But he has responded to the false report. You know, we gotta see what's going on. With Lamelo. This thing is gonna take a lot of different twirls. It's gonna take us on a roller coaster ride. The Charlotte Hornets, man, this has just been wild. I wouldn't be surprised if Charles Lee was behind this. Noble Knowledge says Melo is not KD or LeBron. Melo is a real one. He's not going to jump shit when the going gets tough. Yeah, I know, but the thing is this: that's what Carmelo wanted to do. Carmelo didn't want to leave New York. New York. You have Phil Jackson. He just took over in the front office. Very reminiscent of Peterson and these guys. He brought in his own coach. You see what happened. They let go of Mike Woodson, and then they brought in all these fools that was supposed to come in to do this and that. So now you got Charles Lee, who I know Charles Lee is looking at this young core who they just drafted, and he's ready to get fully behind these guys. He ready to put the rock in all these young players' hands. Like, let's get behind all of them. Let's give it to Con Nipple, in the clutch. And this guy could really shoot, man. That's another thing. You got to keep it 100. Con Nipple, this dude is a sniper. So, you got to pay homage. It is what it is. Shout out to Con Nipple, man. He's one of them ones, especially at the 3. He's going to be a good player, but I mean, it will bode well if he had Lamelo with him. And Lamelo got to keep his aggressiveness. Just because you got guys that could actually put the ball in the hole, that doesn't mean that you should not be aggressive in the clutch. That's the only thing I feel. Do your thing, but in the clutch, some of these shots need to go to Melo. True, how many games have Lamelo and Brandon Miller played together? Not much. I understand wanting to stay in New York, but not Charlotte. Well, like I said, Lamelo played in all of these different, countries. So Charlotte, I mean, like I said, that's beautiful. That's don't get no better than Charlotte. Coming from all these different countries where they didn't really want to be. It was all business. So 41 games together, they didn't play many. But you got this young guy in Con Nipple, so they probably want to see how all this is gonna look. You might not wanna just, break loops like that. They got a nice little team. Listen, I'm gonna keep it real. We all was wrong, including myself. Not everybody. Some people, like Pope said, he was always behind Con Nipple. I wanted Ace Bailey. Let's stop acting like people didn't want Ace Bailey. Because I was one of those ones who wanted him, but for whatever reason, they didn't get Ace Bailey. They went for Con Nipple. So it clearly looks like it was the best move. They made the right move here. They got I'm surprised that he's edged out VJ Edgecombe, because remember, VJ Edgecombe was the guy that everybody ordained as the rookie of the year already, and Con Nipple just came out of nowhere and just snatched it, and I knew that when Brandon Miller got hurt, it was going to open up the door. That was probably the best thing that happened for Con Nipple. I know it sounds crazy, but with another guy like Brandon Miller being removed, you bring in Con Nipple, he's able to step up, elevate, and get an increased role right away, a lot faster, so his progress was sped up. And we're seeing the results of it, So shout out to Lamelo MB 1 of 1, debunking these reports that came out that he is interested in getting moved, and there's a lot of fake news getting pointed out there, So shouts out to Lamelo for holding it down and doing the right thing and combating this BS. Because that's all this stuff is at the end of the day. It's a major BS. Melo wouldn't leave B. Miller and Miles hanging like that. He's not a fit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He really loved those guys, But Miles too, Miles, he held Miles down. I really believe that if he didn't have the relationship with LaMelo, that they would have moved Miles. I think that they wanted Miles. I think the team wanted him. Despite all the nasty things that happened. Come on, anybody else, they would have cut him already. He would have been out the league and figured out something else on another team. But for Miles, they did that. For a guy that never helped them get to the playoffs. Never was an all-star. What the hell was what was the allegiance? So it was clearly something with the other players that was on the team. They backed Miles, and if Miles was to be traded or moved, I think that would have really messed things up. So it was no reason, to have that kind of, situation there, But it is what it is. Hopefully it works out. He's Mr. Charlotte Hornet. He might want to be that. Sometimes the grass ain't always greener on the other side. It's not always greener. Miles might be happy here. He might go somewhere else and have expectations. It might make him get in shape. Because Miles, let's stop acting like Miles ever really played, defense at a high level. So, he goes somewhere else, they may demand other things from him. In Charlotte, he could just do whatever he wants. Hit a couple threes. You might have somebody tell him to take his ass to the basket. So you never know what happens. But this is gonna be a good season, man. It's gonna be an optimistic year. Let's see what happens with the young players. I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. Salute to all y'all. We have breaking news in the NBA. Lamelo Ball. Reports came out initially that he wanted to be traded. He is open to being moved, and the reports are being debunked. It was reports that Carmelo Anthony go to the bench when he was a starter. Like, why would they even ask him this? Why would they even hint these things out there? Now I see, history repeats itself. Now I see another situation. I see another situation where basically all this other stuff is happening. You got people that throw these reports out there. People are in the organization. So I just, like I said, where smoke is fire. You have major publications put this out. I know that people are going to say some reporter. It was a fake news. Listen, Bleacher Report, picked this up. Yahoo Sports, picked this. All of the major publications have put this out. I believe Sports Illustrated. I have to look into that. It was a lot of reports that came out. Lamelo had to firmly come out and debunk it, because it was starting to, set off wildfire, and sometimes, they don't know what's going on in these teams, so it's wild, man. Let me know where Lamelo Ball's going to go. It's Flight Sports TV. Make sure you hit the like button if you're new. Most definitely hit the subscribe button. Peace and love.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.